All right. Well, welcome everybody. My name's Aaron Whittier. Excited for everybody to be on here tonight. You've been invited here by someone tonight, so this might be your first time taking a look at our company, this technology, these devices, and also the business. You might be here just for the technology to learn a little bit about that, or you might even been invited because someone told you that this is the best opportunity they've ever seen in their life. It could be both. You could maybe here for both. So I'm going to cover a little bit tonight. I'm not going to keep you here too long. We're doing an earlier meeting tonight because it was requested because there are a lot of people that do, kind of turn in. We do a 9 p.m. every Tuesday night. So we're gonna probably stick with this Thursday night at 7, maybe for a couple weeks, and just to allow people to jump on a little bit earlier. So I'm gonna get right into it here and just share a little bit about. There might be some people in here from Australia as well. We're building globally here with our team. It might be some Europeans on here tonight because well, it's pretty late there, but I know we have some night owls there. But let's go ahead and get right into it. So we're going to talk a little bit about America, really more than around the world here. But two big challenges no one prepares us for is proactive wellness, strategic timing, and real leverage. We're going to talk about those things tonight here. So, in America, we spend more on healthcare than any nation in history. I know you guys all agree with that. So why are we still getting sicker? Right? We know trillions are spent yearly. Chronic illness is rising. Daily prescriptions are rising. And there's a real bad crisis here in America. 42% of American adults are obese. Physical inactivity obviously contributes to 1 in 10 premature deaths globally. And listen, we just sit down way too often and way too long. And this, is a crisis in America, right? So there's a big problem here. So this company is really helping out. 70% of adults in the US take at least one prescription drug daily. And over the course of the average American's lifetime, they ingest 50,000 pills. I mean, it's shocking to see those numbers, but it's true, right? So, the system makes money when people stay sick. We all know that, right? Big Pharma wants us to stay sick, right? Trillions are spent yearly, right? They make trillions. They don't make money when we stay optimized, right? We work off the reactive model. We wait till we get sick, right? Wait for symptoms to arrive, diagnose them, and then what do? The doctors prescribe medications, right? So you guys all probably know, if you're, been invited by someone here tonight, you probably know the global wellness industry right now is experiencing massive growth. And a big reason is something we call biohacking, which includes PEMF, red light therapy, and recovery tech. And there's a major global shift right now going on how people approach health. And people want drug-free solutions. The world's shifting towards prevention, not just treatment. And tech and health are merging, and AI guided wellness tools, at home devices are replacing clinical visits. And PEMF, we're going to talk about that tonight if you've never heard of that. It's gaining momentum. And what's driving that growth the most is the aging population, increased chronic conditions, and a growing awareness of in home therapy devices. So, our company, Olylife, we're going to talk about tonight. We work off the proactive model. We're going to help people support the body daily, improve resilience, and optimize function. A little bit about company profile here. The company is about 3.5 years old. There's 3 years of research behind these devices. The company owns laboratories in Sweden and Germany. There's thousands of global patents. There's European certifications. And these devices are made with advanced chips and rare metals only found in Japan, and they're assembled in Asia. And they have a global headquarters in Xiamen, China, also Singapore. There's branch offices right now in Malaysia, Thailand, Indonesia, Hong Kong, and they're expanding rapidly right now in the US, in South Korea, Japan, Canada, all over Europe, Australia, South America. I mean, it's expanding like crazy right now because of what happened in the first 3 years in Asia. The company expanded in Asia the first 3 years, and they did over $1 billion in sales their second year in business with one device. Right now, they're doing 80 plus million per month just in Asia. And on the business side, they created over 500 millionaires in the first 3 years just in Asia alone because of this opportunity. So there's, like we talked about, a lot of patents on these devices and scientific backing and global reach. Some of you may have heard of PMF, right? You might have heard of terahertz as well. If you do anything after this Zoom, go to ChatGPT or whatever AI you like to use and just look up what are the benefits of PEMF. and you'll see. ChatGPT or whatever AI is going to spit out is going to say, what it does for the body, right? It activates, revitalizes cells, helps with circulation, inflammation, detoxification, fat burning. And there's so many things that PEMF can do, but you may have heard of devices like these, right? PEMF devices have been a lot of devices over the last several years. So you're probably asking yourself, why is this company exploding? What's so different about these devices, right? And everybody asks that because I've been with the company now 5.5 months, and I can literally say every single person that's received one of these devices is feeling something different, and it's something is improving in their body, and they're just blown away. Chiropractors, you know, all these different practitioners are blown away by these devices. So PEMF actually was originally developed by NASA to support astronaut health in zero gravity. So, when astronauts go out to space for a while, it really does a number on their bodies, right? And you look at these astronauts when they came back from space, they're out in space for a long time, they can't even stand up. So you look at the evolution of PEMF technology in the early 20th century, EMF, electromagnetic fields, were introduced through electricity, radio, and modern tech. There was growing awareness of EMF effects in the mid to late 20th century. And in the 60s and 70s, that's when the discovery of PEMF, scientists were exploring the benefits and how it could support cellular health and recovery. And then in the 2000s, there were some really expensive devices made. We're talking $20,000, $30,000 devices where you'd have to go to a big wellness spa, or maybe you know, actually maybe you had to go to a physical therapy place. And maybe people like Shaquille O'Neal, you could look him up on YouTube. Shaquille O'Neal said PEMF therapy helped his career, helped him overcome injuries. So a lot of people knew about it, but only the people that had access to it. And there were companies that came out like Beamer. You may have heard of Beamer mats and things like that, but they were really expensive. Actually, PEMF became really popular in the equestrian world. Look up PEMF and horses, right? You'll see that there's machines, really expensive machines that people can buy for their horses to help with arthritis in the joints and things like that. And now in the 2020s, Olylife came out and finally created advanced technology and, more importantly, devices that are affordable for everybody. And that's what's incredible. And, the science behind terahertz, the Therapy 90 Plus, which everybody's getting, what does terahertz do? Activates cellular energy, improves blood flow, and boost the brain mood. So, again, everybody asks why these devices so much better than, things like the Beamer and all these different devices out there. Well, the company Olylife, they patented the unique combination of frequencies, bringing together PEMF, radio frequency, and terahertz energy. So the PEMF and radio frequency, those are the therapeutic energies. They're known to do what they do to the body. Call them the healers. They heal the body. And the terahertz energy acts as the carrier, which helps drive those frequencies deeper into the body, approximately 3 to 5 centimeters, depending upon the level of the device being used. So, again, people are blown away by this technology and what's happening. And that's really the reason why we're growing so fast, is because people just are seeing incredible results with these devices. So, let's talk about, our different devices here. We have several different devices and some new additions as well. One that's coming that we're really excited about come this fall. So let's talk about the Terra P90. This Olylife P90 device was the original device in Asia. And again, they did $1 billion in sales, their second full year in business. And what it does, you put your feet in this device, and again, it supports the body, healthy circulation, encourages natural energy flow, supports detox pathways. It does so many things. We all know we have so many nerve endings and things in the feet, and you feel this working. You actually feel it working. And some other devices we have here as well. The P90 Plus, if you look down the bottom middle with the two wands coming out, that's the new improved P90. It has a couple wands, one for skincare, and estheticians and people in the spa world are saying that's an instant facelift. I mean, it uses radio frequency, EMS, and it's unbelievable what happens when you put that wand on your face and use that. We also have another wand there with the three prongs sticking out that you can use. Has red light therapy, EMS, TENS. A lot of benefits with that, where you can use it all over your body. People use it on the neck. Chiropractors are putting it on people's backs. And you can use those with or without your feet on the device. So that device is just incredible. But what I want to do now is I want to show you a video. This video is very powerful. This is a live blood analysis of someone that put her blood under a microscope. You can see her blood is just, it's all clumped together. It's moving very slowly. And then she puts her feet on our P90 Plus for 20 minutes.
Wow. That's amazing. That is amazing. Holy smokes.
You can see, I mean, that every time I see that video, it just blows me away. It's so impressive. And that's probably a big reason. I mean, I had some issues with circulation in my legs. I'm 55 years old. And, I sat down way too long for 2 years. I was selling health insurance and worked 14-hour days, literally 7 days a week, years ago. And it did a number on my body. So 3 weeks on this device, and my circulation is incredible. My body feels incredible. My legs aren't heavy anymore. It's just unbelievable. I'm pain free all over my body. So that's just my quick testimony. There's thousands of people with testimonials, but that video just blows me away. Pretty incredible. So let's talk about the global eye strain crisis. We all know we look at our devices way too long. Our children are exposed to screens for 6+ hours per day. Prolonged exposure to EMS may alter biological rhythms. Overexposure to blue light, can lead to digital eye fatigue. Listen, this is a big issue. We all know that. We have a device for that. We have a device, this Galaxy G1 Smart Eye Massager. This is my favorite device. I love it. I fall asleep every time I use it. Probably shouldn't fall asleep, but I do. You're supposed to keep your eyes open, but I get so relaxed that I close my eyes. But it's designed to help reduce eye fatigue from screen time, reading, and daily stress. It uses gentle massage and heat technology for a soothing experience. It really supports relaxation and refreshed feeling around the eyes. And, I use this at night, and it relaxes me so much. There's a lot of stories of people getting incredible results with issues with their eyes, headaches, migraines, even stress. People that are stressed, and maybe you have some anxiety. We can't make medical claims. We all know that. We have to be very careful what we say about this, but there's a ton of testimonials out there. And this one here is our most popular, newest device here, the Shaken Massager. I'll tell you what, when you wear this around your waist and you maybe post a picture on Facebook, it creates a lot of curiosity and excitement. This helps break down visceral fat around the waist. Uses heat therapy, encourages circulation and comfort, high frequency vibration, radio frequency, red light therapy, dynamic massage, and also our PEMF that we love. People turn it around and put it on their lower back, and it's helped them with lower back issues as well. Incredible, incredible device. So, what I want to do right now, I'm going to stop the share here, and I want to bring on someone that agreed to share her testimonial. Now, I'm going to warn you, this testimonial is incredible. Anne actually shared this testimonial with me probably, I don't know, maybe a month and a half ago, Anne, roughly. And Anne, see if you can unmute here. I'm going to spotlight you for
Can you
everybody.
hear me now?
I can. Thank you very much. But Anne, you shared this testimonial with me about a month and a half ago, roughly. You called me on a Monday morning and you told me this testimonial. And when you were telling me this testimonial, I could tell you had a frog in your throat. You choked up, and you actually made me choke up a little bit. So why don't you please share it with everybody here tonight?
Sure. Thank you, Aaron. Aaron actually introduced me to the P90 Plus around the beginning of May. I bought it immediately, and the reason I did is because my 80-year-old husband has been battling pain throughout his body for over a decade now, in his spine, in his joints, his neck. He's had to endure nerve ablation, cervical and lumbar every 6 months over the past decade. Um, just relentless pain. He's not been able to sleep through the night, and 2 years ago, he had to have a knee replacement, which was a year-long recovery of more pain that he didn't need, and still never fully pain-free. Well, I got him started on the P90 Plus, just 20 minutes a day, and everything began to change. It was hard to believe what was going on with him and happening. Not, I can't make any medical claims or anything, but we went to our son's pool party where the whole family was there, kids, grandkids. And like always, our son would come out to help his dad out of the car and into the house because he was unable to do that without a cane or walker or help of some sort. This time, his dad said, "I've got it." And he got out of the car on his own, walked in the house, up the steps, We didn't have to situate him on a recliner or a sofa for the duration of the visit, for him to just sit there. He was up moving around. He went out to the pool. And he did this without assistance um, at all. And no one could believe it. I had not said anything to my son or anyone else. So the family was just, they just couldn't believe what they were seeing and wanted to know what was going on. I couldn't wait to tell them all about the P90 Plus. But aside from the pain and everything, he sleeps through the night. He moves around freely. His pain is so much better. It's just, and it continues to be better as time goes on as well. Um, Watching this and the family, all of us seeing this was really a blessing. So if any of you have, you know someone or you have a family member that's suffering, do not hesitate. Try this device. I can't say it works this way for everybody. We're all different, but it's been incredible for us and a blessing for sure.
I
And
think
I don't have to buy, I don't need the multitude of machines and whatever that I bought prior to this that never did anything for him. So it really has truly been a blessing and so grateful to Aaron for introducing me to this
uh,
machine.
And thank you so much. I appreciate it so much. I that story, I love that story. I mean, it just makes me so happy, and it's one of thousands of stories already,
Hmm.
just a short time of people with similar situations getting incredible results with these
Right.
devices. So, Ann, thank you so much. I really appreciate you jumping on and sharing that with everybody tonight. I really wanted everybody to hear that tonight. So thank you so
Oh,
much.
you're welcome. We need to spread the word.
Yes, we do. I appreciate that. All right, so let's get back to the presentation here. So that really covers the product portion, the device portion of our presentation. So I'd encourage you, if you're dealing with any kind of discomfort, get the device that fits your needs. Take the first step to a healthier, happier you. Listen, these devices flat out work. And if you're not sure if you're able to try a device, someone that has a device, try one first if you're not convinced yet. But so I'm going to pivot a little bit now. I'm going to shift gears here and just talk a little bit about the opportunity here. Real quick, I was shown this opportunity last March, but it wasn't here yet. There were a couple people trying to get it going, but unfortunately, it took 2 months for the devices to get here. It was all through cryptocurrency. There was no credit card processing, and there was no English speaking materials. It was all in Asian languages, so it just wasn't ready. And so basically, my friends, my close friends, Tuan and Van, they started marketing it, but they marketed it outside of the country. They marketed it a little bit here, and they built English speaking tools, built a whole website for the team and everything. And in January, I saw them post on Facebook after they were doing it for about 8 months privately, and when I saw them post on Facebook saying their team did 10 million in sales, there was no auto ship, you buy a device, you're qualified, all these different things, it intrigued me to call him back. And when I called him, he was actually in Asia touring the headquarters with his wife and a bunch of other people. And he said, Aaron, we posted on Facebook because we have two warehouses that are brand new in America, finally have warehouses there. We have credit card processing, and they're building a state of the art home office in Southern California at the end of the year. So when we come back there, we're going to explode. We're going to take over and launch America. And I was like, oh my gosh. So I got started in January, and it's been the best thing in my 30-year career in direct sales. And, looking at a lot of people on this Zoom, I know they all agree. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the opportunity here and why this business is such a home run. One reason is our product is demonstratable. You can feel it work, and it's not a huge lifestyle change. And, talk about timing. Listen, I know there's a lot of entrepreneurs on here. I knew there would be tonight. A lot of people that have maybe done direct sales before, but no opportunities. We always talk about timing. Timing matters more than talent any day of the week, right? We all know that. And, if you look at businesses, the key to business success is seizing the right moment, being there in the beginning before the masses know about it. So Olylife took, the international market by storm right now. The first 3 years they marketed this in Asia. That was the startup phase. They crushed it. Like it did over 2 billion in 3 years just in Asia. So, they didn't fail like most companies do the first year, right? They exploded. And now it's here in America. It's only been in here in America really 5 months, and other Europe and Australia and other places. It's brand new, but we're experiencing really rapid growth because of a lot of reasons. So we're getting ready for that explosive growth phase. You can see that red circle there on the graph. And you all know stability phase eventually. Listen, everybody's going to have one of these devices eventually. Can you still make money? Sure, you can still make money. They'll come out with new devices here and there. But right now, the timing could not be better. So seizing the right moment. How do you get started? You buy a device. That's it. You get a device. It can be used by the whole family. It's global ready. In other words, you can build in any country really in the world. They ship to just about every country in the world. There's no auto ship. So I know there's a lot of business builders on here that might be in other companies. Listen, nothing against auto ships. But listen, people don't want auto ships anymore. Let's face it. They don't want to. There's a daily payout here. There's high retention and satisfaction through product quality. Listen, when people get a device, they get another one, and then they get another one, and then they get another one because this technology is incredible, and this company will continue to bring out devices here in the future. So let's talk a little bit about different ways to come in. You can come in for $1,000 device. You can come in for $2,000 worth of devices. You can come in. A lot of chiropractors and business builders come in for $6,000 because they want a device. Maybe want multiple devices. We have salon owners that put the devices where the women get their, I forget what they're called, but they get their hair colored and they're under that little dome thing, and they put their feet in the device while their hair is, I don't know, you know what I mean? I don't know what I'm talking about, but you know what I mean? So they have people just put their feet in the device in chiropractic offices and this and that. So, any business can really use these devices. So let's talk about different ways to earn. Now, listen, I'm going to warn you. This compensation plan, I will guarantee right now. I know everybody says they got the best compensation plan. I've been in this industry 30 years, and we have a lot of leaders that are joining this company, and they all agree there's nothing like this compensation plan. There's nothing like it. So we're not going to talk about all 7 ways to earn tonight, but there is no joining fee, which is incredible. There's no extra joining fee. You buy a device, you're in business whether you want to be or not. Okay. There's no subscription, no website fee, no fees whatsoever. You're active forever with a one-time purchase of a device. Again, you can build international teams, passive potential. And we actually build a binary compensation plan. Okay. It's the fastest, most community driven compensation plan out there. So it's basically binary means two. You're going to build two teams. And the first person you introduce to the device to is going to go on your left side. Okay, automatically. All right. So let's talk about something that I've never seen before in the industry, and I guarantee you have not either. Okay. This might confuse some of you because it's foreign to all of us. So when you get started for $1,000, you can make up to $3,000, 3 times what your startup of your device is, off the person directly above you. Yeah, I said that. Directly above you. So when you come on board and the person that came in directly before you, when they go out and they share these devices with people and they make money, you make 5% daily of their pay, up to 3 times your purchase in the beginning. So if you come in for $1,000, you make up to $3,000 of the person directly above you, not below you, above you. And if you come in for $2,000, you make up to $6,000 and so on and so forth. I know it's probably confusing, right? Because we've never heard it before, but it's actually pretty incredible. Now, is everybody come in and build a business? No. Sometimes you might get, placed below someone that just got a device, right? I look at this as a bonus. If you get it, great. If you don't, not a big deal, right? But it is kind of cool, right? So let's talk about the performance bonus. I like to call this a fast start bonus. A lot of people know fast start bonuses as when you actually bring on a customer, bring on a device, you're going to make 10% of the volume of that device. So if a device is $1,000, it's going to be 75% is the volume. So it's 750 point value. So you're going to make 10% of the point value, which is $75 if you have $1,000 device. If someone comes in for $2,000 worth of devices, which a lot of people are, that's the P90 Plus, which is the most popular one, and the Galaxy G1 goggles we talked about, that equals $2,000. It's 1,500 PV. You make 10% of that, it's 150. And if people come in for more, you can figure out the math here. So now I'm going to show you something that is going to knock your socks off. Guarantee it. Okay, so let's talk about when you go out and build a business. This is you in the yellow. And you go and you share this. Let's say you share this with me. I'm A1, right? And then you share it with Jan, and Jan's B1. And let's say we both just get $1,000 device. Well, you're going to make that fast start bonus, $75 from both of us, but you're also going to make a $375 tier bonus. So when the first person on the left, first person on the right on the same level, you're going to make a $375 tier bonus. So let's say I bring in A2 and then Jan brings in B2. Now you didn't bring either one of those people in, but you still made a $375 tier bonus. And that goes to infinity, ladies and gentlemen. Incredible. So let's even make it a little sweeter. If someone comes in for $2,000, A and B come in for $2,000, your tier bonus is $750. And if someone comes in for $6,000 on each side, maybe two chiropractors or someone that really wants to get a lot of devices, your tier bonus on that level is going to be $2,250. So let's show you a visual of this and the power of this. So Tuan and Van are my sponsors, and I didn't tell you, but Tuan and Van, like I did tell you, they launched America. They started to launch the different areas, and they were in business for 11 months, and they made over $1 million in this compensation plan. They were the first millionaires outside of Asia. And there's a lot of people right behind them already in such a short time, just because of these devices, the timing, and everything else. So they brought me on board. And let's say I bring you on board. Okay. Now, let's say you just get started. You're logging into your website and you're seeing this incredible. And I send you, I basically say, hey, listen, Jan, let's say that's Jan or you. And I say, hey, the system's really simple. And you say, how do I do it? And I say, I'm going to send you a picture of the P90 Plus because you don't have your device yet. And all you're going to do is you're going to text that picture to people, messenger people, however you want to do it. And you're going to say, hey, Ann, have you seen this device yet? And 99% of people are going to say, no, what is it? They're going to try to guess, probably say, is it a scale? Is it a vibration plate? What is it? And you're going to say it's a PEMF device. And again, most people don't know what that is. And you say, hey, if you use any kind of AI, go look up what are the benefits of PEMF. And they're going to do that. And they're going to say, whoa, that's incredible. I didn't know that. And then you might send them a quick little 6-minute video about PEMF. And then you might add them to our testimonial Facebook page where they can read hundreds of testimonials of people just like you and I. And, more than likely, they're going to come back to you and go, you know what? I want this device. So let's say while you're doing that, while you're learning how to do that, which really is simple, right? Tuan and Van actually are out there sharing it with people. They put someone on your left side. Now, is this guaranteed? No. Not everybody gets help, right? Well, this can happen with a binary compensation plan. And I go out there and I share the device with somebody else and I put someone on your left side as well. And then let's say you share this with Kristen and Kristen goes, oh my gosh, I want this device. This looks incredible. Well, your first person again goes down the left side. Now, for illustration purposes, we're going to make this example. We're going to pretend everybody buys $2,000 worth of devices. Everybody does. So again, you bring on Kristen. Kristen gets $2,000. That's 1,500 PV. You make a $150 performance bonus. And then you bring on Patty. Patty goes on your right side. That completes your first tier. You get another $150 performance bonus, but you get your first tier of $750. Incredible, right? And then the people bring more people, bring people on the left, and it keeps building down your left side. And then you bring on your third person. Again, you get another $150 performance bonus, another tier. You bring on your fourth person, and you see how we're building this. We're going to the left side of your right side. We're not going to the outside right. We'll help you with that. There's a reason for that. And then this is when it gets fun. On tier 4, you didn't bring either one of those people in, but you still made a $750 tier bonus. Same thing on tier 5. And then you're excited. You bring on your fifth person, get another performance bonus, another tier. You bring on your sixth person, you get 7 tiers. So look what happens here. How many people did you bring in? You brought in 6 people, right? Shared this device with 6 people, and they all got $2,000 worth of devices. And you earn $900 in performance bonuses, $5,250 in tier bonuses, equaling over $6,000. Now, listen, you can do this in one day. You can do this in 1 week. You could do this in 1 year, whatever. It's your choice. But I'm looking at people right here that did this in their first 30 days, made over $6,000, $7,000 the first 30 days doing exactly this. What else happens is, remember, all these devices carry volume, point value, right? So 7 people on each side with 1,500 PV equals 10,500 on each side, left and right. What does that do for you? Well, it gives you 1 share in the company's revenue. Every year, they share 5% of the company's annual revenue, and they share it among qualified members. You would hit the rank of M1 when you get 10,000 on the left, 10,000 on the right. And by the way, for those networkers out here, your volume never flushes. It doesn't start over the beginning of the month. It never flushes. It keeps accumulating month after month after month. And here are some of the ranks here. You hit M1, you have 10,000 on each side, 100,000 on each side, you hit M2, and it keeps going from there. You just get more shares. And again, it's all cumulative. So you can do this whenever you want. And to maintain the global pool, maintain this, all you got to do is bring in 1 device per year. That's it. That's the only qualification in this compensation plan. If you want to continue to get this annual, 5% of the pool, all you got to do is bring in 1 device per year. So let's bring this all kind of full circle here. Let's talk about a couple things here. Why is this company exploding? We talked about in the beginning. These devices are absolutely incredible. They're demonstratable. They flat out work better than anything out there. Listen, we have practitioners. We have practitioner call recordings where, and I would ask the person if you want to see it. We have a person that owns a wellness spa in California. She has all the greatest technology, $30,000 devices, $15,000 to $20,000 PMF devices. And someone went to her and said, "Hey, I want to share this with you." And she's like, "I'm not interested." And then she saw a doctor that was marketing it that she really respected. And she said, "Maybe I'll check this out." This person drove 4 hours down to her wellness spa, let her try it. And we have her on camera saying this one device, our P90 Plus, works better than all of her devices that are $30,000 in her wellness spa. Nothing works like this. And she was blown away. And people are blown away. Why? Because this technology is different and it's affordable, right? But the device actually works better than anything out there. So when the device works, what happens? People get results. They tell people about it. So it's growing organically. So in the timing couldn't be better. We talked about timing matters more than talent. Nobody really knows about these devices around the world. You can build global tools, and the system is simple. Listen, if you've never had success in this industry, you can have success here because the system is simple. You don't need any sales skills. You just need to follow the simple system. So with that, appreciate you all jumping on here tonight on a